Hi everyone, it's FC.Liverpool, it's me, it's Frank, I had to put that up for the lads, and the girls, the 97, which were coming up to Memorial Day. What can I say? What can I say? Being a survivor and going all these years without any justice. And that's the way I look at it. We've got no justice whatsoever. But anyway, we'll be talking about everything tonight. As the title says, Jude FSG and reaction. And I've got two great guests on with me. I've got one lad all the way from Singapore. I'm going to bring them on all the way from Singapore. A big red he is, and a regular guest is a friend of mine. And there he is. There he is. There's James.
Good morning from Singapore, Frank.
Thank you, James.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
I'm good. And how are you, Frank?
I'm good. And I'll tell you what, we've been in touch, haven't we, for a few years?
Yes, we have. I think about a decade.
Yeah. I want
Yeah.
you to introduce yourself to Tommy.
Hi, Tommy.
James.
I'm James.
How are you, mate?
I'm good. And how are you?
Oh, I'm okay, great.
Let me take this opportunity to say RIP to the Hillsborough 97. Really miss them. Gone but not forgotten. It's a very, very sad and special occasion. We miss them. But what can I say? There's no justice, as Frank said.
No justice whatsoever. And we've got to look at the Arsenal game, and it was impeccable. The silence.
Yes.
The wreath and the flowers that was put down by Mikel Arteta. And during his post-match interview, he had
that was brilliant.
Yeah. So it shows you so much respect, for the 97. It's just one of those things that, really needs. I'm actually on a documentary, and it's called Scouse Not English, James. So if you have a look, it's on YouTube. Have a look at it. And
I've come across that.
Yeah, well, look at it, and you'll understand some of the reasons why Liverpool, the city of Liverpool, is totally against the establishment, and Tommy will tell you that. But what I want to talk about is Jude Bellingham. Now, we've been after this fella, say, for a year, 18 months, or whatever it is. And I'll go to you, James, first. I'll go to you.
Yeah.
When Liverpool was saying they were going to sign them, did you have in your mind, and be honest, be truthful, did you have in your mind that we wouldn't sign them for some reason or other?
Yes. To be honest, I thought that it was all a concocted lie. I didn't think they were going to sign him from the very start. And we have to go back to the very beginning when FSG took over Liverpool for that reason, on that basis alone. And you could see that, the pattern of behavior, how they conducted themselves. I will never forget the day they snubbed, John Henry snubbed our king on the terrace, Kenny Dalglish, if you remember that.
I remember that. Yeah, it was the Chelsea game. Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
And he wouldn't even shake hands. And that's what disappointed me so much about Kenny. When Kenny came back, it just disappointed me. I couldn't believe it. And he totally ignored him. Ignored him, James. So you're quite right there. You're quite correct. What do you think?
Has he apologized for that? He has not apologized for that.
No, he never apologizes for anything. All as we get, I call him the washing machine. They spin a hell of a lot. Do you remember that, Tommy, that incident with...
But see, with FSG, Frank, it doesn't surprise me what they do. Because really, they got no interest in the club. Their only interest is making money.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people now understand why. They understand why people are against these particular owners, because this is the predicament we're in today because of lack of investment. I keep saying it. Everybody keeps saying it. It's the lack of investment that's really put us in this quandary. Good evening, all. Seeding is an understatement, says Paul Burke. And he's got a lovely little picture there of Aretha in the 97. So this is it. What we've got to look at, are the owners, right, first and foremost. And we know, did you expect Liverpool to sign, Tommy? Did you expect, when you heard that they're going after this Jude Bellingham?
But the way I look at it is this, Frank. If you take any of the papers, he's not coming. We've got no chance. Well, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, I think we have to sign him. I don't care what anyone tells me. We can't get him. Dortmund, it's up to Dortmund. Liverpool have to buy him.
What's that? Is that to save face? And
no, it's not to save face, Frank. It's not to save face. It's to get a young kid there who's a proper footballer. And then one man who can build another team is Jurgen Klopp. And I think they'll build the team around Jude Bellingham, which I think if we don't get him, Frank, I'll be so disappointed.
Okay, I'll put it this way. Suppose we do get him, do you think that these owners are going to put in another couple, let's say 150, for their two other midfielders? Because that's what we need. We need a minimum of three midfielders, as you know, all top quality, by the way.
Yeah.
Also, we need a centre-back, and we need, a full-back that can play either left back or right back. And there are people out there, there are players out there who can play either. So are you going to...
We're surmising we're going to pay 150 million for Bellingham. We're not going to pay anywhere near that.
No, I know. But I said, didn't I? I said months and months ago, and you know this, I've said this to you many a time. Liverpool will not go into a bidding war. And that bidding war, and I'm going back at the beginning of this, even last year, I said that a bidding war will start for this young lad, and that'll be between Manchester City and Real Madrid. But I think now that Man United will come in, I think Newcastle will come in also, and even Arsenal will come in. You've got to look at Arsenal. We destroyed Arsenal last year. We destroyed them. How come that we've stood still? And look where they are today.
I'll tell you, Frank.
Oh, go ahead, James.
I'll tell you. To me, it doesn't matter if we buy Bellingham or not. What I'm saying is that we need Bellingham very much. I fully agree with Tommy. We need to buy him, and a proper business developer will build a team around him. That's 100% right. But the problem is that we do not have business developers. What we have is a bunch of venture capitalists, and they are there, and their job is to collect assets. And what they do is they improve, they build on the value of immovable property like the stadium. They will not invest in players because there's no guaranteed profit in that, which is why they have to sell the club. And if we had to change our strategy of play, Liverpool has had to play differently. If you look at from the very start, we had gegenpress. We were playing a very attack-minded football, and then we had to change that. If you notice, our strategy of play changed totally.
Yeah.
And we brought in Pep Linders. after Buvek walked, that was the first sign to me that things were going wrong. When Buvek, Klopp's best friend, walked away, it was the first sign to me that things were not going well. And we have lost a lot of very crucial, critical staff over the, I think, 1-2 seasons, and we couldn't even replace them, like the medical doctor and the analyst, things like that.
Michael Edwards, most importantly, because he brought the players in.
Right.
He negotiated, and he was a very good go-between man. He was one of the best, actually. And there's Paul Bear, he says, Frank, just reading Declan Rice on Newcastle radar. We'll be getting Aldi buys again. We'll be instead of going to Harrods, we'll be going to Aldi to buy players. What did you think, Mick? Sorry, this is Mick, by the way, James. Did you think he's deaf? He's deaf. Did you think, Mick? Did you think that we get Jude Bellingham as soon as it was said, we're signing Jude Bellingham? Did you think that we'd get him anyway?
No.
Why?
No.
It's
just the same excuses every summer. They come out and said, "Oh, we're not buying anyone because we're saving up for Jude Bellingham." They've had no intentions of getting him. No intentions whatsoever of getting Jude Bellingham. Like the lad said, we're shopping at Lidl now. We're not shopping anywhere. We're at a food bank with these. That's where we are with the owners. We're at a food bank.
They shouldn't be in the business.
Yeah.
Good analogy, isn't it?
FSG should not be in this business, Frank.
Can you give us a reason why?
It's the model, their business model. Look, when we had the pandemic about 2 years ago, remember what Jurgen Klopp said? He said, "Oh, I do not know any other club who would spend and invest in players." And then suddenly Manchester United started investing in players, Newcastle invested in players. And then they asked Manchester United's manager, they said, how do you manage to invest in players during this stage of a period of time when you have the pandemic and everyone's on a lockdown? And what did he say? He said that it's our business model, and that is exactly what it is, the business model. A proper business developer will look at Bellingham and say, that's a very lucrative opportunity if we get him, because we will know how to get streams of revenue through Bellingham alone.
You get it back in shirt sales, James.
Yeah.
If you spend 150 million, you'll get that back in shirt sales. Well,
exactly, 100%. And they don't see that because they don't have that. They are not business developers. All they do is they are running a Ponzi scheme. They collect assets, and then everyone has to invest in it. And Liverpool is currently the best bait they have to get investors. Now, why do you think no one is coming forward to buy the club? Because they know what FSG is. FSG is going to charge them a huge, exorbitant fee. Will probably ask them for about 8 to 10 billion, which they are not going to pay. And then they said, "Oh, we want minor investors." Look, no one is going to become a minor investor knowing that FSG is going to decide what happens with your money. You tell me one owner that makes a loan, that makes a formal loan to his own club, which has to be paid back within 5 years.
Yeah. With interest.
With interest. Yeah. And we are still paying that back. Now, John Henry said, Liverpool has to live within its means. They live on what they earn. Well, I'm fine with that. Let us have an independent CEO. But what do they do with the money? They funnel the money to expanding the stadium. They wanted to buy the Liverpool name. Now, that is so much different from the beginning when John Henry said we needed a new stadium. I remember that one of the terms of buying over Liverpool was to build a new stadium. Well, I'm fine with that. He didn't build a new stadium. He wanted to expand the current one. But we should have an independent CEO that says, how we spend our money, it should go to performance on the pitch, not just expanding the stadium. But that's not
Well,
what he's doing.
I reckon Michael Edwards has a go at them, to be honest. And that's why he walked away. He just said, I've had enough of this. Because he puts forward names. He put forward, excuse me, he puts forward the names of players that'll be good for us. That'll be good for us. It's as simple as that. Unfortunately, they weren't coming about and getting them. And as you know, the model of the owners is sell to buy. Now I'm just
Exactly.
going to be hypothetical. I'm going to go to Mick first on this. Right. So say it says a sell to buy this summer, which I think it'll be anyway. I really do. I think it'll be a sell to buy. So who's the most saleable player Liverpool have? Who's the most saleable?
Trent Arnold.
Who?
Trent Arnold.
And who else?
I go Salah.
Yeah. So those two, they're the most. You'll get more for them than anybody else in the team. What if they're sold? What if they are sold?
Well, we'll go back 5 years if they're sold.
Well, you've only got to sell it. I've been listening to some podcasts, and believe you me, some of them are pathetic. One of them today was saying, we've got to sell Mo because, to get Jude Bellingham. And I'm like, hang on a minute. You sell, our leading goal scorer for the last 4 or 5 years to buy Jude Bellingham. Why can't he just say the owners have to chip in here and buy them and buy these midfielders? Buy Jude Bellingham. Why
Which they can't do.
The best player? That's what I can't make out with some podcasters.
They can't do that because of their business model.
Yeah, of course.
They have to sell to buy. And one of the reasons I raised the subject about how we have changed our strategy of play, Frank, Mick and Tom, is that we had to play lads out of position on the pitch. We had to put people like Andy Robertson or Milner back in defense when we lost Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps saying spend wisely. Now, if we had been spending wisely, why is it that we have only won one Premier League and we are struggling for players when our core players are injured? We have not been spending wisely. The only thing that's sustainable here is the business for FSG, not football on the pitch. And John Henry should have some integrity and he should just sell the club. Be humble. He's going to make a fortune anyway. Sell the club because he's in the wrong business. And he knows very well that his business model cannot accommodate what is required to own a competitive sport entity. That is 100% fact. It's not rocket science. Any businessman will tell you that.
But the thing is, FSG are looking of our predicament at the minute. And I don't think we will sell Salah or Trent, but we're going to go down and down and down if there's no investments. So that'll be the price of the club will go down and down and down. So the businessmen, so they're going to think we're going to have to do something to shore this up, to make sure we keep our money. So, in my opinion, they've got to buy this summer. They've got to.
Well, okay, let's go to some of the comments here because there's powerful comments. Okay, and we've got one there. Paul Burke, he says, Salah, all day long will be sold. That's what Paul Burke says. And these are all big Reds, by the way. These are all red men. These all go the game. It's as simple as that. These are red men. Right? So, hang on a minute. I don't know where I am. I always lose this thing. trying to be smarmy and there we are. Right, hang on. Right, we've got this, lads. Alan Mansell, he says, I think there will be protest until the end of the season. This Bellingham story is gathering momentum by the day. Fans are starting to turn, which is great to see. That's what Alan Mansell says. And also, we've got this one by Fred Flintstone, 69. Fred Flintstone, 69. And he says, the club is run by financial abusers. This is what you've been saying. Hang on, where am I? That's what you've been saying, James, isn't it? They've been sober. They abused the club, the fans. I have been against them since they fiddled the club from Hicks and Gillette. Now,
Exactly.
A lot of people say that. A lot of people say that they did. They actually put in this bit. But I think Broughton, do you ever remember him? I think he was behind this. Broughton.
That's right. 100% right, Frank. Spot on.
Because he was a great Chelsea supporter. He became a chairman. And he didn't want it. Now, don't forget that Abramovich owned Chelsea. And they were flying high. They were flying with Marino and all these ones. And they were a great side, let's be honest. And he didn't want any competition because there was other buyers there, buyers that would invest in the club. And he decided, well, I don't want any of this nonsense, to challenge us, Chelsea, because he was a season ticket holder. He was a season, and he went straight to them and said, yeah, there's a club for you, which is absolute.
Don't you think Jurgen Klopp should actually grow a pair of balls and go to FSG and say, look, you're making me look a fool, never mind the team or the city. I need players this summer. If I don't get them, goodbye.
That's why Rafa Benitez never get the job, because he done it with the last ones. Yeah. They're scared. They were scared of Rafa Benitez, the last two Yanks.
Yeah, but Klopp should be the same.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're not interested in Liverpool Football Club. You know that. They tried to say they are. They've been caught out in too many lies and too many big mistakes. And they turned around and said, oh, yeah, okay. We didn't really mean to do that. Right.
James, I'm going to say something here, James, or Frank, right?
Yeah.
Right. See, when they took over, this is FSG now, right? When they took over, right, the last two Yanks, they had protests. You had SOS. You had all the journals against the last ones, Hicks and Gillette, right?
That's right.
Now, these are very, very clever businessmen, very clever, right? And they know how to use PR. Yeah. They brought the journalists, the likes of SOS, on board, because they keep your enemies close to the ones. I won't go into detail or anything like that, but they're very close. SOS have got the feet under the table in the boardroom now. None of the journals will say nothing because they won't be allowed in the ground, and Frank will know about this as well, right? They're very, very clever men, and they know how to use the PR to a T.
They do. Yeah.
Look, I know people, and Mick knows this, Tommy knows this, James. People that's not terrified to say anything. They just don't want to say anything. And I'm talking about ordinary fans here, because they lose all their little freebies, especially some podcasters. They lose the freebies, tickets and things, and bring him in as well. That'll be all right. They lose all that if they speak out of turn. So they're all right. They're terrified to say anything, right? I just want to go through these comments. Soulboy France says, selling Salah is madness to get Bellingham, who scores about 10 a season. But we need midfielders as well, Soulboy. We've got Stephen Snape. Tommy's right. Unless we stay competitive, we'll be devalued. Just let me go through these, lads, please. Yeah, let's see. Paul Bake, Frank and boys, be honest, we've been duped by FSG. And he goes on to say, FSG will pay for another shop than a midfielder. That's a good point, that, actually. We've got loads of shops now. Got a shop in my garden to buy it. Alternative FM, exactly same, Frank. Guys, I think Klopp needs to show how much he cares about Liverpool. Isn't that what you just said there, Tommy, before?
Yeah.
He needs to show some balls about this.
Yeah.
So
Without a doubt. I mean, I know people. I'm not slagging Jurgen Klopp off, because
No,
he's the only man. He's the only man I'd want to rebuild our team. But he's got to show a bit of. No, he's got to get a bit of steel in him, and go to them, and lay his card on the table.
But what
because you can guarantee this: if Klopp did walk, then you would see a riot.
But the thing is, Tom, now don't forget what James thinks, what Mick thinks, what you think yourself, what I think, and what all the people on here, these comments, think as well. That if they turned around to FSG or John Henry, the owner, and said, either give me the money or I'm walking, they let him walk. They would let him walk. They really would. They're not interested.
Yeah, they would, yes.
They're not interested, to be honest.
I fully agree with Tommy. Klopp needs to speak out, but he is not Rafael Benitez. He will not do that. We have seen what happened to Rafael Benitez. But I need to touch on a certain point. There's a certain myth about FSG being the coming on board to rescue Liverpool Football Club. And I'll tell you that's a myth, because I was with the legal profession, and the last thing any bank, any lawyers would do when you're dealing with a huge name like Liverpool or a huge brand is to want to make them bankrupt, because then you don't get any money back. So there was no rescue by FSG.
No.
They bought a club that was on an auction, very cheap. We all know about John Henry's email. So they did not come in because they rescued up, because I would say rescuing is when you pay full price for a club, not when you go in and you buy a club that's on auction. They did not rescue the club. They were opportunists. They saw Liverpool as a very big brand to put in their portfolio to be bait to the other investors and assets they could collect. And look at how much they've earned. They talk about players being too expensive. But what about how much they've earned from Liverpool Football Club in their portfolio?
Yeah. Well, we're the third richest club in the world. And I'll tell you who made more than us in the last season, made more than us, right, was Brighton. How's that? How have they made more money than Liverpool Football Club?
I don't see that. I don't see that.
No one can see. So where's it going? And I'm talking about years of what we've been achieving. Years, that is. Remember, they blamed the pandemic. They also blamed, the empty grounds and whatever. Right. And they went to put people who work at the ground on furlough. And I thought, these are cheapskates. I know a fella who worked there, and you know him, by the way, without naming. And he said, when he first came, these are cheapskates. They were even sacking the tea ladies and people like that. He was sacking them to save money, even up at the academy. And this is what it's all about. Can I just read some of these comments, please, lads?
Yeah.
Alternative FM says, they bought the Echo. Spot on. Right. Again, he says, if they don't buy proper players this summer, we'll be off the top 6. Charlie Wood says, PR means nothing when we lose games. FM says again, we need Camp 2. See it. We need, central midfielders, 2 of them. We need everything, he's saying, and even a goalkeeper because Kelleher's going. We know this. Kelleher's going.
That's ridiculous. He's
The
such a
court
good
case in
goalkeeper. Yeah.
2011, the Million Financial versus George Gillette, the records stipulate that there were other clubs with better standing than FSG. RBS also said LFC would never have gone bankrupt or into administration. Tommy and Mick, we've been saying that for years, haven't we? We've been saying that from day one. And you're getting fans, even today saying, look what they done for us. They saved us. Which is a load of absolute garbage. Absolute garbage.
You get them coming back to you when you're arguing with them saying, well, who would buy us? And I'll rhyme off a load of people who would buy us. You know what I mean? Like...
As Fred Flintstone 69 says, there were other clubs with better standing than FSG. And the Royal Bank of Scotland also says LFC would never have gone bankrupt or into administration. Well, we know that.
Not a chance.
Yep. We know that. And he is the man, but needs to push them, and that's Jurgen Klopp. It's only what we're saying. It's only what we're saying, lads. And Klopp needs...
Could I interject at this point? There is something I find very strange, and I just want to know, since when have we considered being loyal to the owners synonymous with being loyal to the football team or to the city of Liverpool? Because I have got Scouse friends who are being priced out of the games. They've got difficulty getting tickets to away games. They are being priced out of the games. And where is the loyalty to the city of Liverpool and their own fans? So we are being loyal. A lot of us are talking about the moment you say something about Klopp or FSG and there's out about, go support Manchester City. You're not loyal to the club. I mean, what did Bill Shankly say? Bill Shankly said the job of owners is to just sign the checks.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it. He always said that, didn't he? The point is as well what you're saying about being left out in the cold, ordinary fans. When the building the Anfield Road stand now should be ready for August next season, right? Should be in a few months' time. It should be ready, everyone, and with 6,000 seats or whatever it is.
And that's where all our money is going. Instead of
there's only
buying players.
There's only 1,000 going to the likes of me and you and everybody else. But the other 5,000 is going corporate.
That's right.
And that stands were supposed to be for us, ordinary fans. So it'll be easier to get a ticket. So that's gone out the way.
And that's very sad because
surprise you with FSG.
How about this? What we were saying before, especially you, Tommy, Fred Flintstone 69. Klopp needs testicular fortitude.
Yeah. But I couldn't have said it like that.
Look, lads, carry on talking. I've got to make myself a cup of tea. I forgot to make myself a cup of tea simply because I'm a nuisance.
I just think a lot of us...
The thing is now, we were talking about Jurgen Klopp throwing a pair of balls and going to FSG, and they wouldn't mind if he walked, right? So what half-decent manager is going to go and work for them?
Potter.
Only Sam Allardyce.
Well, one of the terms of his termination, one of the terms of his contract says that when he extended his contract till 2026, they would help him secure his next appointment. If you remember,
there's only one job he wants. There's only one job he wants,
and that's the German job.
The German man, the German job. That, no, he's made no bones about that.
Yeah.
Next, when he leaves Liverpool, that's the job he wants.
Right.
So we all know that.
Yes. But they have bought
But
him a
it's still-
house. They've bought a house in Liverpool for him. I think they bought it off Brendan Rodgers. He's in the
He did,
property
yeah.
business, and they've got him a house where he doesn't have to pay rent. And they've put it in their terms, even though they know they don't have to do that because he wants the German job. But they put it in terms to help him secure the next appointment. So everything is very lucrative for him. But the thing that surprises me is we have forgotten about Liverpool Football Club being about Liverpool, the city, and the people. And it's now about the books. It's about FSG's business. It's about their balance sheets. It's about not offending FSG. It's not about not offending Jurgen Klopp. I mean, we didn't have all these things with Rafael Benitez. We were straight with him. He was straight with us.
But the thing is, James, with Jurgen Klopp, right? I'm sure
Yeah.
we'd all agree on this. We wouldn't want another manager to rebuild the team because we need rebuilding.
Yeah, we do. I agree with you fully. We want
And
Jurgen
he's
Klopp.
the only manager. He's the
Yes.
only manager I would want to do that job.
Of course, I agree
lay
with
the
you.
foundations for the team.
Yeah.
And
But if FSG are not going to come across and help him, okay,
Yep.
you say they bought him a house but Jurgen Klopp, reading Mariotti's book, and you think you know the manager.
yeah,
He's got his heart is in Liverpool. His wife's heart is in Liverpool.
Mhm.
He loves the people. He loves the team. That's why I'm saying he needs to show a pair of balls and go to FSG, kick the door down, and say, "This is what I want."
Precisely because we will back him up. The fans will
Yeah.
back him up. That's what
Of
we're
course
saying.
he will.
So
Yeah.
they are not going to kick him out. The moment they kick him out of Liverpool, wow, you're
That's
going to
it.
find protests
Oh.
or riots even.
Oh, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not going
looking
to
on
happen.
Twitter now, and I'm seeing a lot of fans who backed FSG starting to turn now. They're starting
Yeah.
to
Oh, they will do.
ask
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
And the one tweet I got me was, we don't need to buy 3 players, Bellingham for 150 million. Mount and Declan Rice are better. I went like that. That's me done.
I mean, don't get me wrong, mate. Jude Bellingham won't be the be all and end all of our midfield. We need players with him. But for me, we have to buy him. Don't care how much he costs.
You've got to get Jude Bellingham, and I don't mind if you get Declan Rice and Mount. I don't mind. That's an English midfield. That's the core. Do you know how many goals and assists our midfield, the whole of our midfield's done this season?
About half a dozen.
The wrong way round. I think we've scored 4 goals and 3 assists from the whole of the midfield, and people are wondering why our forwards haven't been getting many goals.
Yeah, and why we've been getting battered at the back.
Yeah,
because there's no middle. There's no middle to help defend or help the attack. They haven't got one.
Yeah, it's just non-existent.
Do you remember a player called Nabil Fekir?
Yeah.
Yeah, and remember, in fact, I think we signed a deal with him, and then I believe they told Jurgen Klopp that I can't remember if it was Van Dijk or Alisson was available, and I think they had to choose where the money was going to go. And suddenly, out of the blue, they detected a very subtle defect in Nabil Fekir's knee.
Yeah.
Which until today, nothing has come of it. There's no injury. Nothing has come of it. But that was what they have been doing all the while. Sell to buy. And this is...
Yeah, the point is with Nabil, he played for Lyon, didn't he? Lyon.
Yep. Yes.
And he played right through that season. And a couple of fans were like, how come we never signed him? He said that he was injured and he played the next game and he's played ever since. And no one picked up on it. Nobody. Until you just said it. Well, I picked up. Tommy picked up. Alan Davis says, even Frank, I've tagged you in a post on Facebook. Look at the players. The press said we weren't signing. I'm not saying we're going to sign Bellingham, but they've played this game before.
He's right. He's right. They done it with Van Dijk. They done it with
Yep.
Thiago. They done it with who's the other one? They done it with three of them. Oh no, they've gone off the ball now. They don't want them. And the press have done that time and time again.
Yeah.
After we won the FA Cup with, I think, Brendan Rodgers, and we had a CEO called Damien Comolli, and he was a fantastic leader for the club. And immediately after we won the FA Cup, Comolli said,
I didn't
Sorry,
like
Frank.
him. I'm sorry, James, but I didn't
Yeah.
like him because he got rid of Torres. We all know he got rid of Torres to bring in Andy Carroll.
Yes, he did. But this is the point I'm making, Frank. He said immediately after we won the FA Cup, he said, I've got all the big names now wanting to speak to us, and all I have to do is just choose who we should sign.
Yeah, I remember that.
He said that, and I made a statement after that. I said, look, he's going to be sacked for saying that because he's telling FSG to spend.
Yeah.
And he was sacked within a week.
Yeah, he was. He was gone, wasn't he? But it's
Yep.
the same with Michael Edwards. But Michael Edwards, you know, he stuck us out. And then he was bringing in great players. He was saying, yeah, get this fella, get that fella. And all of a sudden, we stopped buying. Who we bought in midfield in the last 4-5 years? Who? Tell me. What midfielders?
That's it.
It's only Thiago, yeah.
Maloney and Mello. That's shocking, though.
That's a Mello. I mean, he's like a ghost, isn't he?
I've never
we were playing an attacking brand of football. We were playing Gegenpress. Players like Fabinho, Naby Keita were brought in to play an attacking brand of football. And then Buvek left. For that season, we did very well. The season after that, we had to change our tactics because we were suffering from injuries. So Klopp had to change the strategy, and we stopped playing an attacking brand of football. And all these attacking players were now switched to playing defensive roles. That's why they're not performing.
Yeah.
There's confusion out there.
I mean, the way I looked at it, I mean, Naby Keita, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's not his fault, but I'm being honest with you. How he's wearing a red shirt, I'll never know. I will never know.
Neither will I.
He's one of the worst buys we've ever made, I should think.
Yeah.
Well, is he? Because, you know, we've made great buys. And the lad, he's got Weetabix legs, hasn't he, really? No matter how... I always remember...
He's got a Weetabix brain, you know?
Oh, God.
He hasn't got a football brain.
We were playing Napoli a few years ago in the Champions League. And was it Napoli? I'm not quite so sure, but it was an away game. And all of a sudden, you see him run, and he just went down. No one was near him or whatever, and he went down, and no one knew what his injury was. And he was
out for 6 months.
He was out for yonks. Now, before, let's get back to Jude Bellingham a second, because it just reminded me of something. Remember when we bought Keita? And everyone was made, oh, you know, this fella's a box-to-box player. And so they bought him and lent him back, loaned him back, didn't they? They loaned him back for the year. Yeah. You know, we'd get him the next, but we'd already bought him. Why didn't we do that with Bellingham? Buy him, say to their Dortmund, hey, Harris the Josh, this is what he's worth, or made an offer for him, and we lend you him back for the year. Why didn't we do that?
Well,
I don't think
he couldn't do it.
Yeah, but look,
if he couldn't do it now,
Frank, would that have been? How would that gone down? We'd have bought Jude Bellingham last summer. The state of our midfield this year, and he's still playing for Dortmund, and we could have had him this season.
Yeah, but the point is, Mick, we did it with Keita. Now we're all saying, oh, well, everybody, I'm not bothered about him, you know. I'm being honest with you. I'm not bothered about Jude Bellingham. Because He's not going to fix the team. One
No.
player.
You said that.
And if we brought him in, have you said that before? I don't know.
Yeah,
If you bring him in, who else is going to come in? Because that'll be the end of it. They could just go like that, as you said, Sammy, and as someone else, I think Alan Davis, he turned it out and said, they've done this before. Look at Alisson, look at Van Dijk, and we know all about that. But the point is, if we brought him in, no one else will come in. And he's not going to fix the team alone. I don't care.
The thing is, Frank, we can't just bring him in. We know that we can't just bring him in.
We need 3 midfielders. And I'm talking about 3 top-class midfielders. We need a centre-back. And we need another forward because Bobby's going.
Yeah.
And you know how injury-prone the rest of them are.
Have you seen the lad from Bayern Munich called Goretzka? Have you seen the lad from Bayern Munich called Goretzka?
No.
Defensive midfielder.
Yeah, I've heard of him, yeah.
And he's got a mate called Kimmich, plays alongside him in the middle of the park for Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Now, they're not going to be wanting hundreds of millions for that. But the German, and they know how to do their job.
Yes.
They've got legs. Then I'd say Bellingham and Mount. Bellingham he's the main man. But then you've got to build around him. You can't just what we've got now around him because, as you've said, Frank, he'll do no good.
Yeah. See, we got Bellingham next summer, Mount and Declan Rice. Just say we got them 3. That's not going to fix our team. We need another 2 or 3 windows after that.
Yeah,
I totally agree with you. Where it is.
Totally
I'm not talking January windows either.
We should have done this 2 years ago.
That's because we should have bought the players previously. That's why we need 3 midfielders now. We were not doing our job. Yeah. We should have been buying players 1-2 seasons ago.
James, the lads that tell you, I said 2 seasons ago, we needed a top midfielder. And I was questioned, why do you need a top midfielder? I was questioned. Yeah. And I said, because, we've got aging players. There's James Milner. He's 36. He's playing in midfield.
38.
No, I'm talking about 2 years ago, Tom.
Oh, all right.
Unless he's 40 now, I don't know. He's as old as Moses. But, this is what I said then this season, as you know, Tommy, as you know me, I turned around and I said to you as well, James, we need 2 midfielders this season. Now we need a complete overhaul of midfield. We're depending on Babatic, a young kid. That's how bad it is.
Only we've said this before, Frank, and I think James and Mick will agree. Every great side strengthens their team when they're strong.
That's right. Spot on.
We never done that.
Yeah.
We couldn't play that football the way we were playing and keep that football up. I'm surprised we did it for so long. That team was going to implode. But we never strengthened when we were strong.
I think that team there last season, if that team was 4 or 5 years younger, and we're going in the same season we would have done the quad with that team. If you know what I mean, we would have done that.
Yeah.
It's just that the age and the legs went on them.
Well, the thing is, you could say like it was a horse race, and you're in the final furlong, and you're coming up to the line. And unfortunately, a couple of other horses just take over you, like Manchester City.
They're like a Devon lot.
And just nodded us on the line. So this is the way I look at it. Paul Blake said, let me go through these, please, people. As it was said at the time, an epic swindle. Brian Reid said that at one point, didn't he? The journalist. And he carries on by servicing the debt to FSG. Alternative FM, he says, RBS owns us. There are plenty of genuine proper owners out there, but Broughton and Chelsea season ticket holder kept him out for FSG to come in. And I mentioned that before, didn't I?
Someone doesn't want Liverpool having good owners, Frank.
Yeah.
Someone up there
How
doesn't
did
want.
he end up coming in at Broughton?
Well,
The banks appointed him. He's a Tory. He's a Tory. The banks are Tories. They brought him in.
They needed someone, as a. It was the Royal Bank of Scotland, actually. They turned around and said, you need a chairman. So they brought him in as an interim chairman.
Is this the guy who didn't know where his office was?
No, that's Werner, that.
Oh, he's another one.
They don't know where the ground is then.
Where's my office? To a steward or a steward said, he had us, mate. Frozen said, he had us,
Toilet.
Oh, that's how pathetic it is. Sheffield United spent more last year, says Alternative FM. Think about that for a little while.
Frank, I'm just going to go and get my charger. My phone's on 3%.
Hurry up then. Why didn't you do it before?
It went off last week when it disappeared.
Mick's doing an FSG. No, had we been buying players when we had to, then we wouldn't be saying this silly thing about having to buy 3 midfielders instead of 1.
Yeah. Totally agree
we
with
would
you,
just
James.
have to buy one because we should have been buying players when we had to. If you look at the season when Van Dijk got injured, if we had another defender like him, I believe firmly we would have won the league that season.
Yeah.
We were just away by a few points.
Well,
Stephen
Snape has a good shout here. He says FSG will attribute their frugality to everything else other than their own reluctance to spend. The transfer market moves at a geometric rate, and we're stuck in the mire under these. And he's spot on there, actually. He's actually spot on. I'll have to go through these. I'm sorry, boys.
Go on.
We'll discuss them. Right. And it'll give me time for me tea to cool down so I can sleep away. Right. Fred Flintstone, I am loyal to LFC, the club, the fans, and FSG. He says. No holding back there, was he, for Fred? And Alternative says they tried to trademark Liverpool as what they did. Ix and Gillette tried to do it. And do you know how Ix and Gillette, they were snidey about the birds, They went through Spain. And there was this lad who was working in the office, this copyright office. And he was a big Liverpool fan, a Barca fan, and a Liverpool fan. And he got hold of someone in Liverpool and said, these pair of cowboys are trying to trademark the liver bird. And that was it in Gillette. So just as well that this lad was a Spanish lad, he was a Barca fan and a Liverpool fan. Just shows you, doesn't it? It's just absolutely nuts. Paul Baker, only 1,000, Frank, when a 10-year waiting list. Exactly. Our Francine, my daughter, James, has been on the waiting list. I was going to say the transfer list now. On the waiting list for the season ticket. Now this is coming up to her 23rd year. That's my daughter.
Yes.
I had hair on my head last time I applied for it.
I had black hair, a big long black beard. I was a hippie.
So basically, we are loyal to owners who are not loyal to the people of Liverpool.
Yeah.
No. It's like the fella in hat, scarf and badge. They tried to do him for the live bird.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mick Dean. And that's a good point, that if you want to buy any merchandise, people out there, and if you go to a match, go to Hat, Scarf and Badge. They've got they've got fantastic merchandise, all Liverpool. Old Liverpool. And it's facing the Flatiron pub. It's just facing there. And they're only open on they're online as well. I'll get something before the end of the show and I'll just show you what kind of merchandise they do. Absolutely fantastic. And they're a small business. And just go along there the next home match and get your merchandise there. I buy some. I buy some off them, especially when I go away and, I wear the t-shirt. Too cold to wear anything these bloody days. I'm not in Singapore though. Be all right over there. I'm going to bed with fleeces on and everything.
Yeah. It's 26 degrees here.
Oh, dear shit.
Yeah.
FSG are not owners, says Charlie Woods. They are custodians. It's our club.
Yeah, you tell them that.
Precisely.
Exactly. Yes, using the club season revenue for the stands. That's it. James. You're in this lawyer business and whatever. They're using our money, and fans think that they're using their. Look what they do. They're building a stand for us. They built Kirby for us. The facilities. No, they didn't. It was us. They built the big stand. No, they didn't. It was us.
Because that guarantees the rise in share prices for their stakeholders. They take the money and they invest in improving the stadium. That's concrete. It's guaranteed improvement. The profit increases, the value increases, and it's good for their shareholders. But it's nowhere good for the performance on the pitch.
Yeah, but Mick's just said you get some fans with their own tinted glasses on, and they can't do any wrong. They saved us. They're our saviors.
I don't even argue with them now, Tommy. See on Twitter,
I wouldn't, mate.
I've done 10 years of that arguing with them.
Yeah,
if
no, I wouldn't.
See it, then they're beyond help.
You might as well talk to the wall.
I get more out of the here.
Just want to go through these comments, lads. They're important. And it's about Klopp, when he leaves. He does want to manage. That's his next big job, isn't it? To manage his national side. He's a very proud German. He's a very proud man of his.
Yeah.
Anyway, and as Alternative says there, yes, he'll manage Germany. That's no problem. And Charlie Kane says, I don't know what he says because it never come up. Let's be honest, says Charlie. Liverpool supporters will never protest like other clubs. It's not in them. What do you think of that?
That's very shocking. That's very shocking because I could have sworn that Liverpool supporters were among the most vociferous in the world.
Yeah.
They stood up for their club. I mean, we are a socialist club.
Yeah.
Where has that gone?
I'll be coming back to that, James. Before we finish, I'll definitely come back to that.
But the thing is, our fans we've been spoiled, right, by performances by our team from the 60s right up to now. We've seen the greatest teams, the greatest players. They come into our club and we've been spoiled. But because they'll go back to David Moyes, he actually spent his money. He spent his money.
Yeah.
He built the cup.
Now,
he built the Kenny Dalglish stand and still bought players.
But I think you can only stress the elastic so far before it snaps. Yeah. And the way we're going now, it's got to come to an end. Either they have to spend money or they have to go. It's as easy as that.
The thing with Liverpool, right, in the early 90s when United were on the rise, United done their business different than us. We were still stuck in the past, Liverpool. United started venturing into corporate and they started building Old Trafford bigger and bigger and bigger, and that was bringing more money in. We never done that. We're made up because we're getting a new stand built and 61,000. That's a disgrace for Liverpool.
They were the first to turn football into a business.
James said it at the beginning. They promised a new ground, but so did Hicks and Gillette. What did they say when they bought us?
Spade
What
be in the
did they
ground in
actually
50 days.
the spade is good. They were in Stanley Park with a spade, putting a foot on a spade. Big photograph, you know, big
Must have
PR
been planting a tree.
Look, something happened. Something happened along the way. I mean, Rick Perry and David Moores, they had a deal going with DIC, if you remember. They had a verbal deal. They were to sell to DIC, they had decided. And suddenly, I think someone intervened and we got sold to Gillette and Hicks.
I know the story. I'm in
Yeah.
a documentary with Tommy Smith. Mick knows this,
Yeah.
and Tommy knows this. And I told him the story. I was in this documentary with John Keith. And this, I forget it, he was an old man then. He was a reporter going back, you know, to Liverpool and whatever. And we were talking about the Inter Milan game. Anyway, before we started recording, I said to Tommy, you know, Tommy Smith, that is. I said to Tommy, listen, Tom, I said, how come that we sold to these Americans? I think it's disgraceful. And I thought we were selling to DIC, Sheikh Makatoum. And he told me a story. And John Keith was sitting there, and this old reporter, and he was just nodding, agreeing because they knew the story. Well, because of, excuse me, I've got to get this mic over. I'm sorry. It was all because of, sorry about this. It was all because of Rick Parry going on. And lots of people blame Rick Parry for this, by the way. And he had nothing at all to do with it. The sheikh or his advisors phoned him up, Parry, and said, can you come over? Because they were flying over on the Sunday to sign for the club on the Monday. So they were all flying over. And he said, I can't leave. He said, you know, by the time we get over there. And they said, no, we'll send over a jet. We'll send over our private jet, which they did, landed at John Lennon Airport. He jumped on, and he couldn't get hold of David Moores, unfortunately, to say where he was going. A few days later, on the Thursday, that was on the Tuesday, on the Thursday, he phones him up. David Moores phoned Parry up. He said, where are you? He said, I've been trying to get hold of you, and I couldn't get hold of you. He said, I'm in the palace. I'm here in the palace. So he said, what palace? And he said, the Sheikhs and Sheikh Maktoum, I'm here. He said, what are you doing there? What about me? He said, well, we couldn't get hold of you. Not only that, but, and this is the crux of it. This is the crux of it. He said, well, now, you know, I'm over. He explained why he was over there, just to cross the T's and dot the I's. That's what he said. And that's when he said, well, what about me? And this is the old top and bottom of it. And he said, this is Rick Parry. He said, well, you're a redundant chairman now, really, because these are the new owners. And he said, oh, it's okay. Fair enough. Put the phone down and phoned Gillette up. He said, do you want to buy the club? He said, well, what about you selling off to DIC? He said, am I? He said, do you want to buy it? If you want to pay a little bit more, a few million more, the club's yours.
8 million.
And that was it. That was it. That the deal was done there. And do you know how he said to Parry as well, he said, get over here. Get over here now. And anyway, do you know how DIC... Now, Parry didn't know about Gillette, because Gillette said, can I bring in a partner? He said, bring her whoever you like, you know, to buy the club. So we brought in Hicks. And when he got over here, that's when he was told that he's selling to the Americans. Do you know how DIC found out? So I tell you, they were all getting preparing to come over to Liverpool. This is the Saturday. They were all ready to come over on the Sunday. And I think it was the nephew, who's a big vet, by the way, of Sheikh Maktoum. And it was, you know, the way the thing goes along on Sky Sports, Liverpool selling to the Americans. That's how they found it.
So we're in this predicament because David Moore spits his dummy out.
Yep. Yep. That's it. I seen. I was going for. I was taking people around in Hope Street, and I seen him outside this restaurant. I said, I'm going over to have a word with him. And he was a big tall fella. And I went over to David. He was having a cigarette. And I went, David, why did you sell to? And he went like that, you know, he went back. I said, why did you sell to them? The predicament that you put us, you trusted Americans. Why? And this big fellow went there. Okay, leave him alone. I said, yeah, okay. He walked away. Fellow puts on like that. I said, okay. I only wanted to ask him. So there you go.
Now.
What about this? The alternative says the book by Linders was a mistake as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees with that.
The number 2 should be seen and not heard. He's got too much to say. Him.
Without a doubt, he's got too much to say.
Oh, they had nothing
the team as well.
They had nothing to lose, fellas. He had nothing to lose by publishing that book because he knew the following season they were going to change strategy. Because 100% FSG was coming down hard on Jurgen Klopp because of the injuries. Because when you have a lot of injuries, then Jurgen Klopp will go to them for investments. He needs more players. And so they told him, well, if you are getting a lot of players injured because of your attacking brand of football, then maybe you should change your strategy. And I believe that's what they did. That's why we don't see any more Jurgen Press brand of football. And I think that book came out as a finale on what we would see how Liverpool played from the very beginning. Look, Buvek walked away for a very good reason. Yeah. He didn't just walk away because, you know, there was a small misunderstanding. He was Jurgen Klopp's best friend. They were a team.
He was the brain, wasn't he? He was the brain. His tactics were unbelievable. And it was his tactics.
I'm going to say something that's going to make you very happy. I do not believe for one second that Liverpool's the team couldn't play well this season, because if you study performance science and you look at how we beat Manchester United 7-0, and then after that there was a very strange statement which I anticipated Klopp would have said. You know, he said, "You think we can't play like this all along, but we can." But we didn't, because we need all our players fit. So this, to me, has been a training season, an experimental season for Klopp. And he was expecting Jude Bellingham to come and join his team now. And I think next year he's going to go for 4 trophies.
You reckon?
No, but this team he won't.
I tell you what are you smoking there?
No, look, no team goes from losing games to beating Manchester United 7-0, you know, and then straight away losing the following game. This has been, he knew that game meant a lot to Scousers. It meant a lot to Liverpool fans. You know, they took that game seriously. Look, we played a totally different brand of game against Manchester United. You can't deny that. It was amazing what we did.
But don't you think that the players themselves were up for it? It was just like against Arsenal when Trent, it was Trent, he was bullied. You know, he's kicked from behind, wasn't he?
Yep. Yes.
And then he just got all riled up. I've never seen him like that. Never seen that lad like that.
Well, that
And
got
then
the
all
crowd
of a
going,
sudden,
didn't it?
you see, like where it's happened in the Kenny's Old Lease stand, they all jumped up, didn't they? Everyone jumped up. And even, our bench jumped up, the way it's happened. And
That's when the game changed. That's when the game changed.
You see Canetti run over, and he was puffing his chest out, that lad. So and it changed the game. We were talking about it, Tommy, weren't we, at half time?
Yeah.
And we both agreed if they come out like that in the second half.
Well, I was listening to. Excuse me, James. I was listening to Neville, and outside commentating. I don't normally listen. No, he gets on my nerves, but he made me laugh. He said, if that's what happens, they should kick Trez a little bit more often.
Good job he never kicked Kate. He'd be out for the year.
Oh, what?
Red
But
boy.
Fred Livingstone says Klopp wants a Bellingham and FSG shizing on him from an enormous height.
Jurgen Klopp wants a fully fit team for next season. And he's used this season as an experimental season to play around different combinations of players, how they combine differently. But you're going to see a totally different team. But here's the thing again. That's provided we get Bellingham in, which I don't see us doing. Yep.
Yeah.
But we've got to get rid of at least 4 off the wage bill.
Definitely. That's why it's an experimental season.
Who shouldn't even be in the team. But that's off the wage bill. Get them off the wage bill.
That's right. Yep.
I think this is when we were talking about Andy Carroll and the other fella, Torres, being sold. Yes, Torres said he was betrayed, and he was. We know that, don't we, Tom? We know that. And
he didn't look happy in the press conference, did he? When he
it ruins him. That was the end of it.
Did you ever see a player go on the decline as quick as Fernando Torres?
No. He just spent £2 million on a house 2 weeks before. In Luton, you don't do that. I'd say, I think I want to go now. Shut up.
Well, that's why they bought Suarez, didn't want to partner Torres.
Yeah. Scrambled egg brain, says Fred Finstone. I don't know what that is about.
Who are you referring to there?
He pissed off the doctor in the pandemic, and he left our medical department. Has been a shambles since. Yeah. Says the Alternative FM. I don't know what you were talking about. Thiago and is that we were talking about midfielders, weren't we?
Yeah.
Let's see, boys.
It must have been who we bought.
Paul Burke, Thiago, and that's it. And but this is about who we should buy now. And I can get it up. Yeah. We need McAllister, Casido as well.
I'll tell you what, he's not a bad player, that McAllister. He's a World Cup winner.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
And he says, Gavardio is great. That's a centre-back, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to start looking at Van Dijk now, haven't you? Replacing him the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are relying on kids again, says Charlie Woods. We've said that, yeah. The Alternative says a CDM as well.
I look at this young Batacic and Jude Bellingham and any other two around them like Mount or Rice or whatever. That is going to be one hell of a middle of the park.
Steve Evans says the FA can do one big time. No further action against the linesman from Sunday. Disgusting. They'd have threw the book at Robbo if it was the other way around.
Robbo should have just walked off and minded his own business.
Yeah, but
Got no sympathy for him. Got no sympathy for him, Frank, at all.
I disagree with you there, Tom. I'm being honest, because no linesman, no referee should be in an altercation with a
He
player.
grabbed the linesman first.
Yeah, but
He grabbed his arm.
Would never have
He
done
had to
that.
get off.
Have you seen the
And
boat?
then
No, Tommy, I disagree with you, mate. That's it.
all
Have you
right,
seen the size of that big dope linesman?
Blubbersley never hit him hard enough.
He was like that
Hold
fella
on, Frank.
when I was talking to
Frank,
David
He banned the
Moore.
player. He
Thinking of
banned the
him.
player, didn't he, for pushing a linesman? And what did the United player do in our game? Push the linesman
Yeah.
out in there.
Yeah,
Nothing happened then.
Nothing happened.
I've got to agree with Tommy. He shouldn't have gone near the linesman. He should have just walked off. He wouldn't have been in that predicament.
He should concentrate more on his performance, what he does on getting hurt.
Every
No sympathy
team
for him
needs
at all.
to build on when they're on top. Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
The alternative, Paul Beck, he was appointed by the Royal Bank of Scotland, so this is like going back again to what we were all talking about.
Yeah.
Charlie Wood, let's see what he says. Right, the Charlie Wood says, Forest bought 24 players in. There you go.
Let go.
People are downfall. Klopp thought we could go again. Same team, injury-prone midfielders. I agree with that. Going for that quadruple has been our downfall. Klopp thought we could go again. Don't forget what he said. We don't need anybody. He said that.
Yeah.
That's right. He said that.
But we said this before, Frank. Everybody's frightened to criticise Jurgen Klopp. And
he
we
keeps
said he's the
changing his
best
story.
manager in the world. But we have to criticise him sometimes.
Yes.
But FSG, I got an article sent to me on Instagram, or was it WhatsApp? It must have been WhatsApp. And it was commenting on FSG, the fans, the Red Sox fans. It was a game. 24,000 turned up at the baseball game. So there's a bit of animosity over in Fenway Park. The 24,000 turning up. So they're under a bit of pressure at the moment, FSG, I'd say.
Well, they just bought another team.
Well, the ice hockey one or basketball.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, Steve Evans, and again, it's what these FSG people are doing, trying to make more money out of everything. FSG are more interested in a new tie-in with Converse now, and the LeBron James kit stuff. Absolute frauds, them Yanks. That's what he says. That's what he says. There's
like that LeBron top, it looks like something out of a baseball.
It's awful.
You can't see any scousers going to the match in that, could you?
No. And then the Converse trainers look like someone spilt a load of paint on them.
So why are they going into that? And I want to know, where did the 600 million plus go that we got last year off Redbird? And I questioned it. I said, where did it go? And someone said, it wasn't going to like Liverpool. It went to Liverpool, but it was only going to FSG. Yeah, that's 600 million plus. Was when
they bought another sport entity, didn't they?
Exactly, and I thought, people are thick. They must think that we're thick. That it wasn't to do with Liverpool Football Club. I said, well, they got shares, so how did they come to Liverpool? How come that none of the money went on the pitch? This is when I was moaning about. This is when I was moaning for midfielders.
It feels
because
like
the business of Liverpool Football Club is no longer football. The business of Liverpool Football Club is about procuring assets for FSG. It's a portfolio, and they are using Liverpool as bait. That's it.
What LeBron put, I don't know, 2 million, 3 million into the club and made 30 million one season.
31 million in the first year.
What did he bring to the table?
We have got a lower cash.
He wore a scarf once at Anfield. That was it. when he came over, he had to come over, didn't he? Just like Henry, he had to come over. What a phony he is. Stephen Snape says, FSG have hoodwinked us under any other name. We'd be well advised to protest as a fan base and echo our steadfast backing of Klopp. Perhaps that won't shift them immeasurably, but they'll have to think. It's a good point.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Frank. Frank, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought we got like a fan elected to sit on the board.
Yeah.
Am I wrong there? Or right?
Who?
Celebrating.
Liverpool.
LeBron James.
Liverpool.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's called
So
salad
we've got a
dressing.
fan sitting on the board.
Yeah.
An ordinary fan.
Yes,
Yeah.
they'll listen to him, but they won't do what he says.
Right. Yeah.
That was the Anfield. No, SOS, that wasn't it?
Yeah, it was SOS.
The
They brought
SOS.
them in.
It's a joke. They're a joke.
It's all politics, isn't it, Mick? It's
Yeah.
all just politics, isn't it? I mean, you say that, we're going to listen to you and we're going to let SOS come on board. We're going to let fans come on board. We'll give you some time, listen to you. It's just to keep you silent.
Yeah,
Well, I know a few of them.
I wish they'd let me down the board today.
I know a few of the lads, actually. I know a few. And I've said to one of them, and you're having a laugh. It's this shit, like,
Why would you, if you sit with SOS, open your mouth and say, look, I don't agree with this? Because you'll get turfed out. Just
Could you
Well,
imagine? Could you
But what I'm
imagine?
saying, you
Could you
cheer me out,
imagine-
I'm going straight to the paper.
Because you'd imagine them saying now, say they're in a meeting now, we need to buy Jude Bellingham for 131 million, and we need another 2 midfielders to go alongside him, plus a centre back, plus a goalkeeper, and we need them without selling Mo Salah, without selling Trent Arnold, without selling anybody. Do you think that they're going to look at him and go, yeah, all right?
Yeah.
Well, but then you'd ask them, where's all the money gone, what we've earned since you took over?
Yeah, but you see, you ask these questions to SOS. I've asked them plenty of questions. If you want to ask questions, subscribe tenner to the. You've got to pay a tenner to ask your question.
No, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. And this is why this one. If anyone's out there and you haven't subscribed or liked, please subscribe and like, because you will get read out. It costs nothing. And this is the unfortunate thing. There's only one podcast which is actually good, where you can just comment, and that's Cop TV. I like them. I like Cop TV.
Oh, the club has sent me an email. I mean, they have got this email program going on. We would like to hear your voice.
I subscribed to SOS 1 year. I don't know how long ago. I heard nothing. I didn't get an email off them. Absolutely nothing off them. Like paid them a tenner for the privilege.
They were all in the 12th man with that, mate. A few other tenors that people had sent in.
I tell you what my plans are, fellas. This is what I've been speaking to some friends a few days ago, and I love the city of Liverpool a lot. I've got lots of friends there. My father worked for the Blue Funnel Line in Liverpool when he was young,
right,
and when,
okay.
So did
and he fell in love with Liverpool, and I inherited that love. I still get criticized for being too vociferous, even though I'm not a Scouser. But I don't mind that, because I know that my father was there. He worked for the Blue Funnel Line and he loved the city a lot. But the thing is this: if they don't get Jude Bellingham this summer, I'm thinking of supporting another Liverpool team, and it could be Marines or AFC Liverpool, because I think the only thing that's going to be tough enough for them to sell the club is a boycott.
Well, that's not going to happen, James. I'll tell you that for now. That will.
I
not happen,
know.
Because you'll get another bum in your seat.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, that's the only thing I can do because, I do not like the idea of having your intelligence insulted season in and season out.
Well, what's that thing, as I mentioned before, Scouse not English?
Yeah.
I'll give you some idea. Paul Beck says, makes you wonder why we were so successful before FSG, eh? And he's spot on there, as Mr. Beck. They've got to pay off the loans for the stands by the end of April. Remember what they said? They said, we have to pay, we're owed 3 million. Do you remember?
Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah, they owe us 3 million. This is what FSG said. So I'm wondering if, as the alternative says, they've got to pay off loans for the stands by the end of April. So I'm wondering if that's it. Pay off the loans and just sell at the end of the season. What do you think?
I hope so.
I just can't understand the money we've made.
Everything will be profit then. They haven't spent a penny.
No. I'm just talking about the money we've made on the pitch. Never mind the merchandise and all the other stuff that comes with it. Just the money we've made on the pitch. Where's that gone?
And John Henry's
this is the problem. I think we need the likes of Miss Marple or good old Sherlock to find out, or Poirot. Stephen Snape says it's an open secret that Klopp's going to manage Die Mannschaft. It's a foregone conclusion. That's who he's going to manage.
Who are they?
I think it's the German national team.
Oh, yeah. We know that.
Alternative FM says, great stream. Keep it up. Thanks. That's good anyway. Thank you for that. Charlie Wood. Sorry there, Charlie, mate. Sorry there, Charlie, again. Charlie Wood says the transfer windows have ruined the game. Clubs used to buy players when they needed them. I always remember Paisley, when we going in for a transfer, say like in December or even February, bringing players in. But now, as Charlie says, the transfer windows have ruined the game. Clubs used to buy players when they needed them, and that was so right.
Can anyone remember? Can anyone remember why they brought it?
Hang on, one at a time. What did you say, Tom?
Can anyone remember why they brought the transfer windows in?
No, I haven't a clue. I just don't know, Tom, I'm being honest. What was you saying, James?
Oh, I said they have sucked the joy out of football.
Do you remember the January transfer window?
Hang on a minute. Hang on, Mick. Say that again, James.
FSG has sucked the joy out of football, as Tom was saying about transfer windows. I mean, that's what football is about. We used to talk about transfers and who's coming in and who's going out. And, these days it's just, it's no longer expectation. No. It's just anticipation of what they want to do.
Speculation. Yes.
That's right. You know what? I was thinking, I'm sorry there, James. I was thinking of something funny. And remember this, Mick? Remember this? And we were arguing over, the owners. And we're going back a few years ago. We were arguing about the owners, Anyway, and this fella, am I right, Mick? Say it from around. And he turns around and said, but they bought us a new sprinkler system. And he meant it. You remember that, Mick? The new sprinkler system.
I put my cup of tea on me lap.
First sprinkler system.
Remember one argued with you? You're talking about the transfer money and all that. He says, yeah, but they've got to pay the electricity bill.
That's That's they were coming out with absolute garbage.
This is what you're up against. This is what you're up against.
Yeah.
I could give FSG a magnet to put on the meter.
Just imagine now, with the hike of electricity, the way it's gone.
Oh,
They've got a brilliant excuse now about bills, haven't they? How can we stop the masses against these scummer effers, says Fred Flintstone. Oh, that's unbelievable. That's absolutely amazing. Tell me the last time Van Dijk's done a sliding tackle. Told you before, Frank, never been the same player since the injury at Everton.
Yeah.
That's why we still got to look for a replacement this year for Van Dijk, because he's not the player.
He was the best centre-half in the world before that.
Sorry, before I forget, I'm doing a walk on Tuesday for some union lads.
Next Tuesday, where you meet?
Tuesday morning, yeah.
Where you
That's
meet?
the pub crawl.
I'm meeting and I hate this place because of the owner. I don't think he's there now, though. Weatherspoons, Lime Street. That's where I'm meeting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to go. I'm not going to have a podcast in the night. So it'll be a quick 3-hour one.
What time?
It's 11 o'clock.
All right, then.
So I've let you know. Okay.
Right,
And
okay.
Great show again, Redman, but work is calling. As a long break, my boss said, take care, you never walk alone. JFT, the 98 Hallberg.
Amen.
Well,
He's been sitting there during his break. His boss must have come and said, fantastic. I love it, honest to God. I really love it.
What do you think of the...
Go on, James.
Oh, sorry, Frank. I was just wondering, what do you fellas think about the Premier League removing Sky Sports and the middlemen from broadcasting rights and planning to start their own platform? Do you think this would be
cheaper for us? It might be cheap.
It would be a good move, yeah.
Yeah, good move.
It might be.
It could be, but you think it'll happen?
Well, they say it's in the blueprint.
Yeah, but it could take like a few years yet. Could take. I don't know. It depends. I've been waiting.
If there's money involved.
Do you know when you apply for something? And I said I'll have to get this ultra streaming. So my providers, I said to them, I said I want ultra streaming for me broadband, and they went, yeah, no problem. Be out next day. It sends out the whole. We'll have it in for you next day.
How much?
Next Wednesday, right? So I had to cancel a lot of things on the Wednesday, and still waiting. And that was a week ago. And they sent me a text saying the box in your road or street or whatever is full up, so we'll have to wait. See what I mean?
Apple said to reduce repayments.
Exactly. Right. The money made from us is siphoned off to their Rounders team and other entities owned by Fenway Sports. We're just a cash cow, says Stephen Snake. Charlie Wood says, it's like suggestion box and work. Tell us what we can do to improve our performance. That's a good point, though. That's a very good point, actually. I'll just go through these last couple of, if you don't mind, lads. Charlie Kerr.
It's your fingers. Mick, it's your fingers, whatever you're doing there.
Yeah, it's you, Mick.
I'm not doing nothing.
You know? Yeah, I'll tell you who it is. Go on. It's all right. Are you listening? I'm going to turn. Right, let me go. It's James.
James.
It's
Yeah,
James.
told you.
James.
Sorry, Mick.
It's James.
James.
Took the dog.
Yes.
James, what's on the rackets?
Here,
It's James. It's you, James.
is it me?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing
Is it-
under that table?
Nothing. I'm sitting on a chair with no table.
Okay.
He's eating his
Yeah,
curried
stop now.
noodles. He's eating his curried
It's stop
noodles.
now.
Where do you live, James?
Is it better now?
Yeah,
Singapore.
all right, yeah.
Yes,
Where
I
do
live
you
in Singapore. Yes.
Singapore, yeah. Lovely.
Yeah. Have you been here, Mick?
No, I haven't been. No, I'd like to
I
go
was
that.
there.
I'd like to go that.
I was there in 1973
Oh,
with
please,
the blue
please feel
with the blue funnel. With the blue funnel.
with a blue funnel line.
Aye.
Yay. Okay, that's about the period when my dad was on a blue
Yeah,
funnel
yeah.
line since the 60s. He was on board since the 1960s. He served as an engineer on board that ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I joined in 71.
No, feel free to come to Singapore anytime. I would suggest if you do come to Singapore, make it 2 destinations, not just Singapore. Go to Bali also because
Yeah.
you'll love both places. You'll have the best food in the world in both places, the best people in Bali, and you'll enjoy yourselves. I mean, have a
Okay,
All
holiday.
right, James.
Give me a
All right, James. I'll expect the money through the post next week.
Fucking invite him there.
I'll write to John Henry.
Did he do good hair transplants over there, James?
Say again.
Did he do good hair transplants over there?
Oh, Turkey. No, Turkey's the place for that, man.
I've had the teeth done there.
In Bangkok, they do.
I don't want to go near there. No, you're all right.
You want to see where they take it from?
I always remember going into, the town hall, where he had a group of people. And,
Yeah.
a few old ladies, that's who they were. So it goes in, and it was windy, and it goes like that. And it shakes me head. And I went like that. I said, I'll have to fix this rig. And this old lady went like that. It's just a bit over there, Frank. Can you move it up? Great, honestly. They've been very surreptitiously undermining the voice of those of us with our heart and soul in the club. Not yes men who enjoy crumbs handed down by FSG. They'll toe the line because it suits them, says Stephen Snape. Can't get any better than that. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Love these. Soulboy Fran, when the fans get angry, FSG always puts something out there to cool it, like we're up for sale or whatever. Well,
That's politics.
I said that loads of times. I said this is a ploy in November so that they won't, if it's up for sale, new owners, fans will be saying, oh, the new owners are going to buy. So they leave or they won't harass FSG. And what happens as soon as the window shut, they must think that was stupid. As soon as the window shut, what happens?
We're asking for investors.
No, they just said
for
it's not up for
investors.
sale. That's what they said. We're not up for sale. That's what they said, Tom.
Yeah.
And you get these
Yeah,
fans
yeah.
believing.
Why didn't they say that? Why didn't they say that at the end of December? We're not up for sale.
Frank,
Because what would have happened? They would have been harassed.
Frank, you get these fans believing because we never had people coming in to buy us. That who's going to buy us? No one wanted to buy us. You're getting them believing that no one wanted to buy us. That's why they want investors.
This is how the window came in. The Bosman ruling started the transfer windows because players can run down their contracts.
What are they doing now?
Allowing clubs their own broadcasting rights would work well for us. We'll have billions of subscribers, plus it cuts Sky out. Win-win for me, says Stephen Snape.
I like to see it happen, but
I agree.
It won't be yet.
And the lovely Lorna Blenko says, I've absolutely loved tonight as a real chuckle. It's supposed to be serious.
We're serious here. How dare you laugh?
It's a grandson, you know, genuine this. He's my #1 fan. And he wrote to Father Christmas. And you know the top of the list? Do you know what it was? You know, to Father Christmas for the presents. Do you know what his #1 was? To meet Frank Carlyle.
Wow.
Little Charlie, the grandson, you know, Lorna's grandson. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely.
How old is he? How old is he, Frank?
32.
I'm going to say, I think the beer must have been talking there.
Selling the club was a smokescreen. In many ways, it's indicative of how gullible some fans are, and that's absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
And that Charlie says, let's be honest, who pays for Sky?
Yeah, exactly.
Shut up, Charlie.
Hey, Sky, you're going to blow us all up.
A friend of mine said today, he said, FSG, fans so gullible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Abbreviation. Fans so gullible, FSG. Yeah.
Fred Flintstone says, any truth in GIC interest in Liverpool? Is that GIC, does he mean?
I think so. GIC, I think it's Singapore.
Oh, go away.
James, you're not taking Liverpool over, are you?
No, there were some rumors of the Singapore government. They have a company called GIC. From Singapore. There were rumors and speculations that they were interested in Liverpool Football Club. And the same thing happened years ago also, but I do not think they would go into that profession. They are not as unrealistic as FSG.
Well, what would their net worth be? What would they...
Oh, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. I mean, they are just as good as any Arab owners and things like that. But the thing is, they are looking at assets. They are not looking at developing businesses. Unless it has something to do, it's an asset to the nation here. Unless it's within Singapore. If it's somewhere like outside of Singapore, then we are looking at assets. Yeah, so they won't go into that business unless maybe a stakeholding, a shareholding, you know, like they do in a number of British entities. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, GIC. Yeah, I know what he's talking about. Yeah.
Well, that'll be, you know, would they be good for us though? That's the main thing, because you seem to know who they are.
Well, I'm very proud of the government here. They are very efficient. They are willing to spend. They are willing to spend, because during the pandemic, while every other neighboring country or any other country around the world stopped investments, they stopped whatever work was going on, any developments that was going on. Singapore's policy is to always push on, to continue investing even when times are hard. They'll do that because their policy is to hit the ground running when things get back to normal.
Good policy.
We have fantastic government here.
Can you read that out there, Tommy?
Snapey says, Tommy was right on Tuesday night. Must have been last Tuesday. This show would be brilliant down in the pub sometimes. Oh, Frank, your Liverpool Unravelled on YouTube is brilliant.
I'm very modest, you say. I don't like to read out any kind of comments about me.
You already asked me to do that because of stutter.
You know, the new argument, just to go off topic from the new argument, is that FSG didn't promise us Bellingham. That's the new defense tactic they are using.
And I'm still convinced we're going to get it. I'm still convinced we're going to get it. Honestly, I do, mate. Honestly.
Do you think? Okay, all right. let's have a little. Let's have a little. Not show of hands or whatever. What do you say, Mick? Would you go along to say that we'd get him?
My gut feeling saying no. We won't get
What
him.
about you, James? Are we going to get him?
I'll say 50-50, Frank.
Don't be sitting on the fence, James.
Okay,
Don't
I'll
be
say
sitting
no
on the
then.
fence.
I'll say no
Oh,
then.
will ya?
Personally, I'll say no. Yeah.
I'll get back on the
Well,
fence.
I don't want to comment. I don't want to comment on the air because I've been advised by some friends about strategic issues involving negotiations. Whereby it's used as a tactic to maybe keep, to avoid a bidding war.
I've said it all along.
To say that we don't want him because we used the same tactic with Van Dijk and Alisson, didn't we?
I've said it since day one. We will not get him because there will be a bidding war. And I've always said that'll be between City and Real Madrid. You've got that Tchouaméni now. And this is another problem which I thought as well at the time. When Liverpool were buying him, he wanted to come to Liverpool, you know. He wanted to come to Liverpool, that lad. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he goes to Real Madrid. And the spin was, he wanted to go to Real Madrid as usual, and all this nonsense. Now he wants to come here to Liverpool, apparently, because he can't get any. And I said, okay, where's the contingency plan? Where's the contingency plan to buy another alternative midfielder? And what it was, I don't think that the money was there to even buy Tchouaméni, and that's why he went to Real Madrid.
What about this for a suggestion? Would you buy Mane back?
No.
I think we've missed Mane. I really do.
Would you buy him back?
No, I wouldn't.
No, he's in his 30s now, Tommy. We need to start this stop. I really believe that Liverpool should start looking at players approaching 30.
All right, I'll put this alternative to you. Which is a good one, that, Tommy. I'll put this alternative.
He's just chinned one of his teammates.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'll give this alternative to you. Would you rather pay for Mane, or even get him on a free, or give Milner another year's contract?
Stop it.
Stop it. No, I'll have him back, Mane.
Yeah.
Mane anytime over Milner, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
Come back to us.
That's like saying you'd have a three-wheeler instead of a Porsche.
But I'll say this, it would be very silly if we do not recruit Milner as the coach.
Oh, I totally agree with that.
What, coach driver?
Yeah. He should be a coach.
And the backroom staff.
Or the academy.
Yeah. Totally agree with that.
I'll go with that, yeah.
Would you go along with Steven Gerrard, by the way, coming back into the backroom stuff?
Yeah, to replace Lindelof.
Yeah. I don't like that. Never liked that Linders, to be honest.
I think with Stevie G, he's definitely going to come back to Liverpool before Klopp retires, because he wants to work with Klopp. He wants to work with him to see what he does, how he works it, and I'm sure he'll come back before Klopp goes.
Well, I think Klopp told him to go to Rangers, to be honest, to get some more experience. Let's go up. Let's go up early tomorrow, Frank, and my scooter race in Wales. Great show, lads. Enjoyed it, Frank and gang. Oh, that's nice.
Good night, Charlie.
He's on a scooter. He's doing a race in Wales.
Mobility scooter.
Yeah. I keep asking him to come down because I used to go to school with Charlie. I knew his wife used to be a neighbour, when we were younger kids. Like his lovely wife, Josie, unfortunately passed on. Just love the man.
Oh, rest in peace.
Thank you. That's lovely. That Bellingham is a pipe dream, says Snapey. Stephen Snape, pipe dream.
Well,
Well, everything with FSG is a dream, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right there.
If we get Bellingham, we won't get anyone else, says Charlie Wood. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Agreed.
No.
Get Stevie G back to shadow Klopp and study how the German works. Master and apprentice.
Get Stevie G back and put him in the middle of the park.
I'll tell you what, he's doing a good job there, tell you.
Yeah, he would.
Tell you.
Nostalgic purchases are a retrograde acquisition. Sadio was a great servant. Emphasis on the past tense.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take that.
I'm glad he never said that in German. Get Stevie G back into the shadow clock. Oh yeah, I've said that. And Soulboy Fran, he says they had money for Toumani. He can spell Toumani. I was putting on some post. I couldn't spell LOS.
He's showing up.
Just Googled that.
He's showing up on his Google that his mixed it.
Right there, that's a cracker. They have money for Toumani, so why not for Bellingham? But he's nice.
That conversation 10 minutes ago, so he's Googled that. Got
Yeah. You can't kid us.
I was putting up someone's post about Toumani, you know, what I said, what I just told you. I don't think there was any money for Toumani, but I have to say, there was no money for that fella he wanted to say. He went to Real Madrid.
his name looks like a station in Wales, doesn't it?
But that's a bit easier to spell.
Right. His name looks like a station you see in Wales.
Yeah.
Stephen Smith says too many works equally well. Just too many. Well, listen, lads, I'm going to wrap it up. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah. It's been boss, mate. Been boss. Nice to meet you, James.
Nice to meet you, James.
It's been an honor speaking to all of you. I mean, you know, I'm very flattered, and it's been fantastic. This was like a wish come true for me, and you know, I hope I get a chance to speak to both of you and Frank again.
Oh yeah.
You know,
no, that's your first and last time you're on. Okay.
Okay, I understand.
The phone bill from Singapore and the light bill is costing a fortune.
It's been an honor. It's been an honor, and I'm humbled. You know, so I've learned a bit from here.
James, it's been a great pleasure, and absolutely we'll have you on again. Absolutely, along with these two here.
Frank, I'm not going to say nothing now, but when you watch this back later, just look. Can you see him, Mick?
I know. These are shoulders.
Look at Frank. Look at Frank. You know, his head's that big and his shoulders are this big.
Looks like one of them puppets, doesn't he?
No, you're right. You're right.
I keep expecting the legs to come up like that.
You know what it's been called here, and anyway, I had to try everything out, and I had to pull the neck on. Just see me here.
Look like Yannick. Oh dear me. It's been a good show, mate.
As Stephen Snape says, it's a bust of Frank. It's a bust of Frank.
We're going to come back next year, fellas. We're going to come back. You're going to see the real Van Dijk again next year. We're going to see the players. But the only thing that Jurgen Klopp knows deep down inside that's going to make a difference and that's going to help us pursue the quadruple is Jude Bellingham. And it's going to be a very great disappointment to him. I do not believe for 1 second that he's on board with not buying Jude Bellingham. I do not.
That's why I think we'll get him. That's why I think we'll get him.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
Yeah. Stephen Snape says, nice one, lads. Great interaction as usual. That's a nice comment.
Thank you. Steve.
Thank you.
Right, let's go to bed.
It's a bust of Frank. And Charlie Wood says, I thought it was the Muppet Show and I tuned in.
I Have you still got that big monster dog, mate?
Hold on.
Is he there? Oh, look
yeah,
at that.
yeah.
Hey, oi.
That brings Mick for a walk, you know, overnight. That brings
Yeah.
Mick for a walk. He doesn't bring that for a walk.
It's the ones you never
Anyway.
heard of,
Anyway, lads, it's just for me to wrap it up. We'll be. Listen, before we go, I need a prediction for the Leeds game. Tommy,
2-0. 2-0.
Mick,
1-0.
2-1 to Liverpool.
2-1 for Liverpool.
Yeah.
1-0 for Liverpool.
1-0. I'm
Yep.
going 2-0. I'm going 2-0 for the Reds.
We'll always concede one, Frank.
The thing is, I think we've got to keep the momentum up, what we finished with against Arsenal, because if we don't...
Well, that's the thing is with us, Frank. We don't know what Liverpool's going to turn up, do we?
I'm not going to bed with you, Tommy, says Sneefy. 2-0 for us, he carries on by saying 2-0 for us, which is a good thing. So it's just been great, lads. It really has, and we've had new lads on as well tonight.
Enjoyed it.
Hope that, everybody subscribes and get the algorithm up there.
Oh, it's been an honor. Nice meeting you. If any of you feel like coming down to Singapore for a holiday, just give me a tinkle. Frank will put you in touch. I'll be happy to meet you.
I'll hold you to that.
Yep.
Well, I'm a pensioner. How can I get there?
Please do. I mean, we are always very welcoming here. My wife.
Can you use your bus pass over there?
Say again?
Can you use your bus pass?
you don't. It's very cheap here. It's cheaper than in England.
All right.
You might even stay out there.
We've got a fantastic transport system. You'll be surprised.
Yeah. Do you know where honestly, I keep getting invited. I'm going to tell you places where I get invited to: Australia, New Zealand, Hollywood, New York, Tampa Bay, and Bali. Yes. I get invited over to Bali because this fella runs a business over there. He's a Liverpool fella, and he runs.
Yeah, I've met a few of them there. Yeah.
Is this a plus one, Frank? Is this a plus one?
What? No,
plus one.
Like he says, get over, and stay in one of the. He's got those things on the beach.
Huts.
And huts and
canoes.
With the little thing, going out into the turquoise blue green sea.
Oh yeah.
He says he can stay in the shed. I said to our Francine, I'm not staying in the shed. And she said, have you seen the shed? Oh, he has it all.
You're getting on me nerves now talking about this.
Yeah, well,
I'm one of them sheds on the banks of the Mersey.
You could stay in a villa in Bali, a nice luxurious villa in Bali for just a maximum of about £50 a day.
I only get invited to Speak Police Station, says Stevens. But listen, lads, I've got to go. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, James. Thank you, Tommy.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, everyone. Bye, Tom. Bye, Mick. Thank you, Frank.
See you all.
God bless.
Yep.
All right.
See you all next week. Okay.
Yep. See you. It's 5 a.m. here in Singapore. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, James. Thank you. And that's me. See you all next Tuesday. Thank you, boys and girls, and thank you. Shibidi amo. Ciao.